Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to give you a walkthrough on how to create a custom match in the open beta for PCs. Okay, it's very simple, yes, but I see a lot of people who don't know how to do it still, and I have not been able to find a video on YouTube that explains it well for the PC. Now, there are some good videos for the mobile, but yeah, in terms of PC, I haven't found one yet. And when I find these custom matches, a lot of people just have terrible settings. So, you know what? We're going to make a walkthrough video for it so people will be educated on how to do this. Okay, so instead of clicking on War Mode, you are going to go down here and click on Open Beta Create. And I can create a separate video for like zombie mode, normal mode, and esports settings if you would like that. But yeah, we're just going to focus on war mode in this video. Okay, let's go ahead, create that. And then first thing you're going to want to do is type in your session name, AR only, quick start. That usually gets people to join in fast. Yeah, so we'll do that instead. Oh, first we're going to select war mode. I messed that up. Okay, Sandhawk, first person perspective. And then you're going to select the minimum amount of players. Now this is important because if you select the minimum amount of players and then people start joining in, it's going to look like your game is about to start. Yes, you are fooling people, but it's very important to do this because as soon as people start joining your game and it gets really close to cap, you're going to slightly increase the settings when you're actually in the lobby. You're going to slightly increase the settings by a couple players at a time, 4 or 5 players. And once you get close to that cap again, you just keep on bumping it up and up and up, and then your match fills really fast that way. So yeah, secret hidden tricks. All right, and then team members, I just want to play solo, so we're just going to go ahead and do that, okay? All right, then we'll go ahead and create. Okay, and then once you are in the actual lobby, then you go to match settings, and then here are the basic rules that you already set up. So that's done. Now you need to go into rules. Okay, now this is where you can really start making some changes. You've got stuff like goal score, time limit, team eliminations, so on and so forth. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I want a really long custom match, which is honestly what I would suggest that you should do. You should increase your goal score. If you're playing teams, you can do something like 500. But if you're just playing solo, I would suggest just sticking around 250. And then your time limit, you should cap it out at 1800 seconds, which if you do the math, 1800 seconds is 30 minutes flat. So that's a 30-minute match right there. And in 30 minutes, I found that generally 250 is a pretty darn good goal for that. And yeah, I mean, if you're going to be playing war mode, you probably want long matches because it's, you know, the best place to get practice. Okay, and then team elimination. If you're playing teams, you can choose to turn that on or off. Generally, I would probably say you'd want to turn it on because it's more, you know, typical. It's more typical of what you would actually be playing in Battle Royale mode. And then you've got down but not out, revive time, or just down but not out, revive. You can turn that off, so that means if your teammates die, you can't revive them. But yeah, turn that on because that's like regular gameplay. And then down but not out, revive time, you can have that really short. I generally see a lot of people do it short, at least in the good matches that I play. It's short just so that you don't have to spend forever trying to get your teammate up and you can keep the action going and just keep practicing. So yeah, I would generally turn this to 1 or 2 seconds. It just keeps up the intensity of the match. And then bleed out DPS, that's another thing. So turn that to like maximum damage per second. The reason for this is either your teammate's going to revive you right away or you're going to die right away. That means that you don't have to spend very much time not in the match. And then if you can get revived, then you don't have to spend the time waiting to get back in the match. Does that make sense? I hope so. If you have any questions on that, just post that in the comment section. Okay, and then health after revive, I would put this at like 60. That's just my personal preference, but I find it's very nice, once again, to keep the action going. So if you get revived, then you actually have some health and you don't have to sit around medding. So put it at 60 or 70. 70 is the cap, but yeah, I'll just go with like 60 there. So that means you have to take a couple bandages, but it's not the worst. And then blue zone, I'm just going to keep that on static. You have static or war royale. We're just going to keep that on static because I just want to play in one position the whole time. And then the smallest possible static blue zone size. If you're playing with ARs or SMGs, do not go do not go to 0.5 static zone size, or honestly don't even go above 0.05. You want a small area. I mean, with ARs, yeah, there may be some want to practice at longer distances because you will use ARs for longer distances, but if it's SMGs, stay at 0.05. You're really not going to be using your SMGs for long distance, unless maybe it's like a vector with a 6x scope, because that's popular lately. Okay, and respawn type, air. That's the only option we have. Respawn time, we're going to turn that down to 30 seconds. By default, it's 40 seconds. This is terrible, trust me. Even higher is terrible. You want the minimum amount of respawn time so you can keep the action flowing. And then respawn equipment, you have a ton of options here. Okay, so SMGs, it's defaulted on soldier, sniper, random, crossbow, western, overpower, bomb, melee weapons, pan, and AR, which is automatic rifle. So we are going to do that. Okay, and then you got care package type, basic or off, or sniper rifle kit, AR kit, and then basic. And I think this may, no, I take that back. Those are the four options that you have. And then care package interval time. If you want a lot of super-powered weapons on the field, turn it down to 30 seconds. I'm okay with it being at like 180 seconds. That is 3 minutes. Okay, cool. All right. But yeah, once you have this at like 30 seconds, you're just going to have so many super-powered weapons in there. If you're just trying to practice with ARs, all of a sudden people are going to be using all these other weapons. So yeah, you can just turn care package interval to 3 minutes, and then you really won't have to worry about that too often. And then you have a couple different options. Depending on the map, you're going to have different type of weather options. So like sunny, overcast. If you play on like Erangel, you have rainy, and then foggy, so on and so forth. And I'm sure they're going to add more weather types in the coming updates. I guess we'll just have to wait for that. But yeah, I'm just going to keep it on sunny. All right, and then we have, as you can see, we have 2 people in here now. One person actually joined, which I'm surprised. It normally takes a little while to get going, but once you get this third, which is what I was just about to say, once you get this like third player, then when you're like 3 out of 16, then people are like, oh, let's join this one. And then it just starts filling up pretty quick. And then once I get to about like the 13 mark right here, that's when I'm going to go back into match settings, and then I'll increase this slightly, this player count right here on the basic settings. But for now, we will just sit and wait. AR only quick start. Okay, as you can see, we are just one slot away from that 13. Once we get to 13, oh, and we jumped over. I'm going to increase it by 4. We're just going to confirm that. Okay, now it's at 20. And oh boy, we're pumping out fast. I'm going to go up to 24. And I'll probably go to a max of like 60. That's where I've been normally sitting. You can go to 100, but once you go to 100, then people really start lagging. That's just, you're pushing your luck if you go all the way up to 100. So I would go 60 or 70 at max. And if you go too low, then you run into problems if you play in these long matches where too many people start leaving. So I really do find that like 60 is the sweet spot. Well, just keep on increasing this guy. Look how fast this is filling up. It's literally booming right now. It took a while at the start, but then it really gets going. And that's a little too much. Let's go 44. Okay, 50. We're going to have a couple people drop. Every now and then it happens. Some people get impatient because they don't think the match is actually going to start, but it will. Okay, 54. Okay, 59, and you know what, we're just going to bump it up to 60, and then we'll leave it there. Full match, and we're going. Boom, just like that. It's that simple. That was, you know, honestly perfect. That worked out really well. And then now you get to practice. It's the ideal. So I chose ARs. You can do SMGs only, quick start. You can do sniper rifle only, quick start. Overpower only, quick start. Crossbow only, quick start. Use that kind of title. Tell the people what type of weapons, what type of practice they're going to have, and then tell them it's quick start. So that means, because everyone's looking for, you know, they're looking to get in the game as fast as possible. So if the title says that, it's enticing. It'll get them to join. And that's all that I really did right there. And then I wanted a solo. You don't have to specify that in the title. You can, but yeah. There are some other settings when you're actually searching for games that will tell you, you know, what perspective it is, what's the number of teams, that number of players on each team, so on and so forth. And it begins. And it looks like I have an M4. Yeah, real quick tip. If you're playing war mode, oh, look at that. That's beautiful. Whenever you drop out of the plane, just press tab, and you get to see what weapon you have before you get on the ground. If you're using an AK and you have a small circle like this, you generally start... No, actually, I think when you have ARs only selected, the AK always starts with a 2x scope. Same with, I think the M16 does too. You can just pull that off before you actually land, so you don't have to deal with it if you're in a close range battle. And then this is when it gets really loud. Where'd he go? There he is. Well, that is all I have for you in this video, everyone. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Leave a like if you enjoyed what you watched. And if you have any questions at all, make sure to post those in the comment section. And if you have any requests for any future walkthrough videos or any type of content that you want to see, also post that in the comment section. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.